You made mention of us checking spiritual compatibility, and then of course emotional and all of that. But you didn't talk about health and that of finance. Let's talk about health first. Is it important to check if you're compatible?
Yeah, so with health, finances, they are all under the sociological.
Okay.
I mean, if not even speaking about that, but we are just talking about the spiritual.
Okay.
So the spiritual aspect, like I said, checking yourself, even faith, our faith. You see what you believe in. Today we have Christians who are married and they are still fighting. Why? Because although they are all Christians, they belong to different denominations.
But Councillor, fights are bound to happen.
Yes, but you see, this is where the issue is. I always tell people, when you are always choosing a partner, one thing we forget to do is that you're not just choosing a wife or a husband for yourself, you're also choosing a father and a mother for your kids. Right. You're also choosing a spiritual head for yourself. So when you choose somebody who you don't agree on spiritual issues, you're already doomed. Perhaps, you see, there are certain statements you make, you need to take viewers back to at least explain certain things. But due to time, now look at it. Marriage has spiritual elements in it. You understand? So imagine, I made mention, you have people. You can be a Catholic. I can be a charismatic person where I believe when you are praying, you know, have to pray on top of voice. Meanwhile, you also believe that praying is just a matter of you talking to your God, no need to shout. Whilst you are asleep, your husband or your wife is there. Today, people are fighting in their homes. Meanwhile, they are all Christians. That's what we are talking about. So compatibility means you don't need to be even on the same level. Do you agree with the person?
Okay.
You know, I understand that this is how you do your thing, so that whenever you're doing it, I will not be disturbed. I will not feel like you are worrying me. The moment you feel threatened or you feel sad or you don't like what somebody is doing, the agreement is not there. The compatibility simply means, are you in agreement with the person? So I don't even need to be the same church with you, but I understand that where my wife is coming from, where the church she attends, this is how they do their things. So when she's doing it, I will not be attacking her, and I won't pay the. Then when you do that, it's one thing people don't know. If today people can commit suicide because of faith, then you know faith is so powerful.
Right.
Suicide bombers. Why do they do that? They believe that when I put bomb on myself and kill maybe people who don't belong or believe in maybe my God, I have a reward. Somebody can die as a Christian. Why? Because you feel that, okay, if I die in the faith, that's what some churches, they don't even take blood donation. I hope you're aware.
Exactly.
So imagine you marry somebody there, now your son, it happened recently, your only son is dying. And your husband says, no, from where? My faith, we don't take blood. And you're looking at your child dying. Then you know spiritual issues matter in marriage. Right. Sometimes we just, like I said, we look at only the physical. I mean, Lebanon is there, she looks so beautiful. But life goes beyond that.
Right.
Beyond the physical. As you rightly said, if you want to come to the sociological element, from the physical, health-wise, is very important. You understand? Finance, the friends he keeps around. Are you getting it? The things he or she engages in. Maybe I'm going to funeral, I'm going to visit, I'm going for this festival. Almost every activity this person is doing. And you're like, you can't spend all the money on some of these things. You have to check all these things before you marry. Don't go, you see, you can't change people in marriage. Let me say this. Marriage don't change people. So, I mean, my advice to the women who are Zoom or who are thinking, oh yeah, worry your best son. Marriage is just like money. It doesn't change people. It rather amplifies people. So whatever the person is doing now, after marriage, it will triple. It will quadruple. Okay. So never assume that, well, she's doing or he's doing this, I don't like it, but perhaps when you marry, he's going to change, you won't change. So that's why you need to do this assessment. That whatever you identify, which you can agree with, that's why it's called dating. By then, you've not committed yourself. Or don't then work with you. Because now your dating is more like our reunion. You are dating and you are like, you are worried that you are doing almost everything. So even when you see some of these red flags, you still want to just gloss over it because you've committed so much into the relationship. Some people are now paying for fees. Some are renting rooms for people. You've committed so much into it. So you just cross a whole pin, it will change. Now after 5, 10, 15 years, I can't marry again. Why? You are going to make reference to the same thing you saw before the marriage. That's why people say that whatever leads to divorce was there before the marriage.
Right.
But because we've broken the foundation of dating is not marriage. Let our viewers and the youth know, dating is not marriage. And it takes only a wise person to understand this. Because in any case, that person after 10 years, if you date somebody for 10 years and the person doesn't marry, you can't take the person to court that you only have to 10 years won't worry me. Even if the person should die, can you be over to a Are you a widow? The family don't even know you. That should even send some kind of thing to do. The family don't even know you as a wife or a husband.
Right.
So why do you have to commit so much into it? That today, in fact, because of all this investment, we will be abortion more than 10. And now she's afraid that if I leave, I can't. So people are now committed to certain, dangerous and reckless relationships, all because they have invested so much into it,
Right.
and now they don't feel like living. We should understand it, and that's what we're looking at, the 10 principles. If you learn it, it will help you. If you don't learn it, you will pay for it.
Right.
Tell me that we are about to divorce, and I will mention some of this to you. You will know where you fought it.
Okay, counselor, unfortunately, we'll have to end here, but we'll continue next week. This is where we draw curtains on this week's edition of the Breakfast Live Show. My name is Lebene Abrokwa. Before I go, ABJ Artistry will always put smile on your face. We bring out the best in you, and we'll always make sure your happiness comes first. You can follow him on Instagram at House of ABJ. You can also call 0242 425 224. And then, of course, to Kojo Shoes. They are running a promo this December. They're located at Dansuman Sakaman, just beside Tanko's Kitchen. Just go there. Yatitin Yamanu to say who. A very big thank you for joining me this morning. I'll see you soon. But till then, have a blessed weekend.